Hello, everybody, and welcome back to our two. So, you guys rejoined the group. Erin, you had asked a fun question as soon as we went offline.
Oh yeah.
Could Stalbor, could you and Stalbor answer that question?
So my question was, do Bellum and N come back to Kieran and Stalboard just holding right down, trying to cast magic on him?
The
I don't think
answer
that's
is
how it's going to go down.
The answer is no.
No, Stalbor's just been writing in his spell book for a while, and if anyone tries to talk to him, he just like turns away.
Nope. Reich is just going to be sharpening his weapons.
So are you guys gonna talk ever again? Because this is exhausting and boring.
I need my spells ready for us to fight the big scary monster, otherwise you're all going
Right.
to die.
That's great. I'm super excited you're doing that. But Reich, what's with the silence? I can't take it anymore.
Reich looks up at you, looks over to him, and looks back to his weapons and continues sharpening them.
Oh, you guys are
The
awful.
silence suits me fine.
Right.
Like you're asleep.
So if either one of you guys die on this next quest, you're going to be totally happy with how things are right now. And you're not going to regret anything you said. You're just going to live with that.
You
It's
know
kinda
when
rough.
Stalbor kind of looks like a kicked puppy?
Aw.
That like actually like hits him a bit.
Yeah.
and he,
That's
like,
not a great
droops.
thing to have to live with.
It's a complicated situation.
Uh-huh.
It's not complicated.
Okay. He closes his book and then opens it again, but on a different page. If it's not a complicated situation, let me do one thing, and then we can be friends again. Now, I do have to do this thing to your body.
I look up at you and I say, and why exactly is that?
Because I have seen that the gatekeepers have planted something in your head, and that makes me uncomfortable, and that makes me not see you as Reich anymore, but as one of their minions. And then maybe I can get rid of it, and maybe I can't, but maybe the placebo would just make me feel better.
If I let you do this thing, whatever this thing is, will you let go whatever animosity you're holding towards me?
I promise.
And this isn't going to like somehow make my brain outside of my body, right?
I cast it multiple times on N, and
That's
Nothing-
not comforting.
that bad happens. Well, I guess we'll find out if you're a changeling. He says,
Oh goody.
clearly joking.
But then looking suspiciously like,
I sheathe my weapons and I say, then do it.
Thank you, my friends. And I'm gonna go up and cast Dispel Magic, like, on his head. Like, fingers to forehead while I do it.
Do I even have any magical things on me?
do me a favor, Ollie. Could you roll me a what is it, like a caster level check? So that's your D20
Oh, a spell roll. My,
spell roll. Yeah. The old
D20 plus 8.
yeah, plus proficiency plus primary modifier.
Yeah, it's plus 8.
Int.
For 8 for you, yeah.
It's pretty bad.
So you reach
Have
out.
action points.
Oh! Ooh!
Yeah, you have a lot of those.
You have a lot
I
of
do.
those. Ooh!
Nice.
See, like, 18 is, like, a good roll.
Yeah, no, that is
a
a
19.
That's a 19. It's a very good roll.
Feel pretty
So-
depressed
so-
if you didn't get
Yeah,
my
well-
capabilities.
I knew that.
Shh.
I have a plus 5 intelligence.
No, Stalbor does. Ollie does not.
Reich, he temporarily, because it lasts as temporary, he temporarily closes the channels in your mind that have been opened, the doors that have been opened. Two things happen. One, you can feel that bit of you slip away. Like you can literally feel the avenues in your mind close off. It's almost like you were trying, when you're about to say something, you open your mouth to say it, but you can't fucking remember what it was that you're about to say, and it's killing you because you're like, I was just, and you can't remember what it was, and it was like really important. That's like several parts of your mind right now have just been shut off, and you know that they're supposed to be there, but they're not. But at the same time that those avenues of your mind close off, certain memories or aspects that are awoken from those close off for you as well. And Reich's alignment actually shifts back to where it was originally. Again, even if only temporarily.
Interesting.
You know of the change of the mind, but not the change of the view. You know what I'm saying?
Well, obviously,
Yeah,
yeah.
you don't perceive the view change. Go ahead.
It's interesting. I had not expected that to work.
So it did work on something.
Yes, you've cut off my ability to use my. You've cut off my ability to use my. I don't even know what he would refer to them as. You've disabled my ability to cast whatever magics I had learned through the awakening.
That was my intent, yes.
But why?
You
I
know how
stand
the
here-
Thorian keeps thralls? You're one of them, just
No.
for the other side. Or were. You should be fine now.
No, I was never one of them. I am just the same amount of Reich as I was seconds ago. This is what I was trying to tell you. Those things were very different. I had made minor changes. Minor. And you had taken them way out of proportion in some trumped up conspiracy you've built up in your head.
You
I
do
don't-
realize
Trump.
I can see magic, right? I wasn't imagining things based on your personality changing. I saw it in your head like a parasite.
Of all people, you should then understand that not all magics are bad.
But I know theirs is.
No, you do not. You don't know anything about their magic. You don't know anything about what they're doing.
I know what they're doing. And
Then, if you know what they're doing, then why do you fight them so much?
Star Wars quiet.
Stalbor, they are, what like it or not, they are out to help the world. I know that their methods may seem drastic. That's because they are single-minded. They have no other view than what is in front of them. They have put up blinders because they've trained their entire life to fight this one enemy. And that does make them flawed. I will agree with you wholeheartedly. I had no intention of joining their group, but they are necessary. They are necessary for the balance of this world. And that is why I worked with them. And when they gave me the opportunity to expand my reach, to gain strength through opening my mind to something greater, I took that opportunity because I have studied my whole life what they are fighting against. I did not go blindly to them. When Kieran asked me to go, I was thinking of returning to them after we were done here. Before then, but I knew there was something that was bringing me to them, and this was it. Whatever they gave me, it was not a hex. It was not a curse. It was a gift. I don't know what it is. I don't truly understand it yet, but it is something that I need to explore. And I don't know what I can do to convince you that this is not changing me, at least not negatively. But this is, I'm laying my cards down on the table. All I need you to do now is consider the fact that this might not be something negative. This might just be another way for me to grow as a person.
All right, right. I don't have to trust the gatekeepers, but I can trust you.
That's
As long
all
as
I
you
know.
don't mind me occasionally questioning, maybe prodding, I won't aim my anger at you.
Rick kind of smiles a little bit. He says, "I don't think that I would have it any other way."
Stumble will kind of like smile a bit, and then he'll go sit where he was before and go back to writing.
So it's quiet again, but a much more comfortable silence.
It's one of those things where Bellum, when you go walking back into the circle of people, could you roll me an insight check?
Yeah. Hold on 1 second. Meat and pistachios. By the way, pomegranate flavored pistachios, bomb.com.
What?
Yeah, I don't think people ever said that.
I don't think
that-
you should go to bomb.com, especially on American internet. I feel like
Yeah.
I'm gonna
that's a
do it.
bad idea.
Yeah.
Right now.
Oh, oh god.
Okay, let's watch Will get swatted.
You're gonna watch me get swat. Hopefully I don't die.
They just pull down the curtain
Wow.
behind
No,
Will, and
it's
it's
like
just like,
someone owns the domain and they're just linking other things so that they can make money.
of course. It was the 90s. That's when people used to just buy tons of websites and hold on to them so they could sell them.
I mean, it was pretty smart.
It's now not really allowed because it's pretty awful.
So in the 90s, it was pretty smart.
Yeah, before it was not allowed. 'Cause it's awful.
It was pretty smart.
So anyways, the what is it? With your insight check, you walk into the camp of everybody, and you can notice there's a different air here. By the time you guys return, it's an indeterminate amount of time later. Reich's mind
I'd really
kind of
like
slips
to know
back
the
open.
exact time, actually, in hours.
Roll me an insight check to see when you can see Reich's difference. He's not human.
No, not on. No, when Bellum comes back from when he left.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's different.
How long it's been.
Oh,
Refilling my spellbook.
Oh, my apologies. They were gone for probably 4 hours.
Okay.
4 hours. So,
Planning on doing it overnight as well.
of course. My apologies, because you don't sleep, right? So, they get back, and once again, Bellum, you can clearly tell there's a change in the air here. Things seem less tense, not more relaxed, but definitely less tense.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
I go directly to Reich, and I'll just say, me and Nil over here found some things.
Indeed.
When he says Nil, she kind of rolls her eyes directly to Kieran.
Karen just like, hey, and Nil, that's both good.
Indeed.
Fair, she
I mean,
hasn't told us
Kieran
what
laughed
name
at it.
we should give them for each of our forms. So
Yeah.
what does she fucking expect? Because Stowball would have remembered all of them.
And what exactly did you find? Anything of use?
He'll like gesture to the side and start like walking maybe 20 feet away.
Yeah, we found a few things. Stuff I've never seen before, but you, Stalbor, you kind of told me about them when you guys made your way back to the ship before the,
So when I go to walk the 20 feet away, and then like I walk probably like 5 feet and then hear her start describing what she found, I actually like turn heel and just start walking back and paying attention.
Okay, she pulls out
We
like a
kind
little...
of watch you walk away, then like why?
You watch me look at Reich and be like this way, like to walk away, because I went to Reich specifically, and then when I hear her start talking, I'm like, let me actually come over here and check this out.
You like
So-
walk away like a weirdo and come back.
So she pulls out a
Yeah.
small sack and carefully dumps out the stuff that's inside of it, and you guys see just more of what you had found, what you had been gifted beforehand, which sadly I think all of it got destroyed. Things like the single bead of water that functions like a refreshment of water, single bead that you can
Is there
eat
a mug?
and it becomes food. No, it's not a pill bug.
No, the mug.
Oh no, there's no more mugs. Those would have been destroyed. Yeah, because Kieran's awful. You find just like more things like that, including a couple of like wands and stuff like that too. But they honestly look bent and cracked. It's like one of those. N couldn't discover whether or not there was magic in them, but can clearly tell that they were wands. And it's like a bunch of other supplies very similar to the stuff that you had beforehand. But On top of all that, she actually pulls out, this is the last thing to come out of the sack, reaches in and pulls out a small chest. When I say small, it's still of decent size chest that she pulls out of the sack. It's like, maybe a foot long, about 8 inches wide, and probably about like 6 or 7 inches deep. Okay. And so it's a good sized chest, and there's a lock on it. To which she's like, I wanted to open this, but I couldn't because I could see that there's clearly safeguards on it. Do you have a spell to rid it of the protective magics?
Yes. Yeah, of course. And then I'll dispel magic it.
Okay.
That'd be hilarious if that was the only dispel magic.
I
you
know.
have.
And of course, Right
Like-
could see. Right.
Awkward.
The like way the spell's cast. It's the exact spell that he just cast on Right. Exactly the same.
So
I actually note that because that perturbed. At first, Reich didn't know what he was doing to him to sever that connection, but it kind of perturbs Reich a little bit that a spell he's using to disable trap magic is the same sort of spell that was able to disable. And now Reich's a little bit uncertain. We'll get back to that
I
later.
will learn to explicitly for you.
So you cast a spell on it, and she takes a little while fiddling with the lock. Curses a few times as she keeps like tripping the mechanism, but is eventually able to pick the otherwise masterful lock. Again, it takes a considerable amount of time, and you can see it's just because like her fingers are kind of like wobbly and bony, and it's not really designed for doing this kind of work. But clearly, with certain eyes around, she's stuck using them. So eventually, she's able to trip the mechanism open, and you guys get it open. But it does take like a solid like 15-20 minutes for that to happen. Finally, when the thing opens up, you see the chest is mostly empty. There's still only left in there, when you count them out, 150 more gems that look identical to the ones that you guys were paid with. When I say identical, by the way, I don't know if you remember, there was an assortment. But,
Yeah.
Stalbor, is there a way that you can check and see if these gems are going to blow up?
I think we know they're gonna blow up. I'm more curious on how we activate them.
I'll still do detect magic as a ritual.
You start
We're taking
casting
time.
detect magic, but as you start like going through the ritual, and actually closes the box back up without latching it, and lifts up the bottom, like lifts the thing upside down, and underneath it you actually see like built into the bottom of the box, you can actually like, so it's kind of like has its own little housing right there, pulls out a tuning fork that is at the bottom of the box, and says, "You said you heard a sound, a ringing."
That would make sense. That would make sense. Magic caused by vibration. That's genius. That's canny.
I
But genius.
I imagine that whatever's in the box is safe from the sounds, but I wasn't willing to test it, and very carefully puts the tuning fork back.
I'm going to
It also-
nonchalantly pull out that spell book and just start looking through it to see if it mentions anything of this.
It also means that we have a reliable explosive.
Mm-hmm.
The spell book is written in Gnomish.
Don't think I speak Gnomish. I just start looking it over. Try to find anything. I'm like, oh, this thing's all
Pictures.
Gnomish. Yeah, it's all Gnomish. Can't really do much with it.
I can't speak Gnomish either, so.
I
That's
don't
all
think it
right.
matters what
Kieran
language
goes to a
spellbook's
crowd of
in for a
people.
wizard.
She's like, every family take one of these gems home, please. This is my gift to all the families in the town. Every family take one gem. And then what I need you to do tonight in exchange for taking this gem home is everybody cuddle together and say your prayer exactly at sunset for dinner, okay? Cuddle close. Here you go.
As an option.
It is an option.
No, it is not an option. That is the only option Reich will not stand behind, is murdering everyone.
I think we can find more options.
Yeah, that's true. Thank you, Ollie.
We can find new breaks. It's fine.
Oh, wow. Moving on. Moving on.
There's only one Reich.
It's a very common name in Hobgoblin lands.
So,
Like Lee. Everyone's called Lee.
Lee.
It's like the Dave of the Hobgoblins.
So you guys see all the things that the happenings or whatever. Right, he did stop on a heel and turn back to watch. They're kind of done going about what they're talking about now. He's flipping through a book. I don't know if you're interested in that one.
Well, Reich has been paying attention to the way he's acting, just because he's still trying to size Bellum up, and he says, "Bellum, you were going to show me something."
Yes. I'll walk away.
I'm going to follow after him. I kind of look at the others and shrug.
Well, that's fucking weird.
Oh,
That
what a
weird. Him and
surprise.
he's the only
Suspicious-
person I've gotten to know.
I know. Reich,
Suspicious guy is being suspicious. What a surprise.
Reich, you've been waylaid by Bellum and must defend yourself.
Christ.
He looks at you and goes, so. He looks like past you. You can see he's looking at the group and looks back at you. Says, so N is a changeling?
I look
Or
back
worse?
I look back to the others and I look back to you and I say, well, I don't really know how much of my place it is, but I guess you're going to find out sooner rather than later.
He nods because I've already found out. She just
Yes.
wouldn't admit it to me.
Yes, and she probably never will. And
It's fine. I
that's
have
much-
no issues with changelings. I
much
don't.
Sure, Zer nature.
Yeah. Okay. Right now she's a she. She's going by she. She turns into a he. She's gonna go by he.
Hey, I'm triggered. No, but he says, listen. I will tell you that when I met N, it was under less than favorable circumstances. To tell you that she has earned my trust should be no small thing.
It's not that I distrust her. It's she obviously doesn't trust me, and I get it. I do.
I imagine that's the same for Kieran and Stalbor too.
It
I
seems as though that's true.
I do trust you, but do not confuse my trust for what's the word I'm thinking of? Do not excuse my trust for a lack of lack of fuck. I can't even think of the word right now.
Do not confuse my trust for lack of fuck. All right, well,
Yeah.
there you go.
Do not,
For
He's like
ignorance,
19.
for stupidity, for
do not confuse my
dimwittedness.
do not confuse my my trust for blindness. If you are to if you seek to move against the group, I will be aware of it. I do not think that this is your intention, but I know the people you work with, and though I believe their intentions will ultimately good, I also understand that your organization is very one-minded, and I fear as though my group's my group seeks will eventually go against, or at least not parallel to what your group wishes, and I can.
It's funny that that's what you think. I'm not sure how insightful you are, but my group specifically wants this group to do well.
I look back at them and I say, why?
There's plenty of reason why. I'm sure they have people who know much more than me even, and I'm sure they were only willing to let me know so much. But as far as I know, they want this group to do well.
I will never understand an organization who seeks to willingly keep its own members in the dark. But once again, I am forced in a situation where
I'm not quite a member yet.
Ah. Now things are starting to make more sense. But as I said, Bellum, you seem like a person who is trustworthy, and I will give my trust to you. Do not
I understand that. Like, I interject and I say, but I'm not going to work extra hard to get these guys to trust me. I will do my part, and I will do what's right. But once again, I'm not going to work extra hard to get people who aren't willing to trust.
And I think as long as you're willing to work towards our goals, there will be no need for anything extra.
I nod to that.
We're a pragmatic bunch. But What did you? Was that all? Did you find anything in addition to what N had sought?
I say, yes. Perhaps we should show the whole group what we found.
I'll head back with you.
Yeah, start walking back with him, like in the same stride.